political analyst and author Rich Rubino is here with us right now. Rich, I'm sure a lot of Americans, when they woke up to this news or they saw it over the weekend, President Carter in hospice himself right now at home, defying the odds at age 99. And we hear about First Lady Rosalynn Carter passing away. I mean, what a love story, first off.
Yes, absolutely. Essentially 77 years. Jimmy Carter is the longest living former president. Rosalynn Carter is the second longest living first lady behind Bess Truman. But it really is, not to mention the fact that after retiring from the presidency, the Carters could have essentially moved anywhere, and they actually moved back to their hometown of Plains, Georgia, from having gone all over the world. That's where they kind of moved back to, in a house that Jimmy Carter just about built himself.
Yeah, it really was a beautiful post-White House career, probably the most successful in history. But their partnership, the two of them, and mutual respect, it is incomparable. What was the secret, do you think? Was it their faith? Was it that Rosalynn Carter was more interested in politics than her husband?
I think I think that's a lot of it. And a lot of it, too, is delegation. This goes back to Jimmy Carter's days in the state Senate, days as governor, and days as presidential candidate, frankly. And the reason I say presidential candidate is this was very important because Jimmy Carter had very little experience in the national scene. There was a poll, in fact, 2 years before 1976 of 35 potential Democratic presidential candidates and who would be the nominee. You had Scoop Jackson, Fred Harris, Birch Bayh. Jimmy Carter's name was not even on it. That's how obscure of a figure he was. So Rosalynn Carter went to Iowa, went all over Iowa. She eventually campaigned in 42 states for the general election.
Wow.
But what she would do, and she was interested in the politics of this, she would literally drive around Iowa, look for antennas. And when she'd see antennas, she would find out she would figure that's probably a radio station. That could be a music station, news station, whatever it is. She would then knock on the door and say, "I'm Rosalynn Carter. My husband's running for president. Would you like to interview me?" And this absolutely worked. In part, Jimmy Carter ended up coming in second place in Iowa to uncommitted, and after Iowa went on to New Hampshire. But if it had not been for Rosalynn's efforts in Iowa, Jimmy Carter probably would have been seen as an afterthought and probably would never have gotten into New Hampshire, would never got into the general election, and would have essentially been a footnote in history, I think.
I think about what prepared her for these moments. I mean, her father passed away when she was a teenager. She helped raise her siblings. She marries Jimmy after he serves in the Navy, so she's managing the house while he's away. But what else might we know about her that prepared her for this role of humanitarian and mental health advocate?
Yeah, it's interesting because that's an issue that she actually picked up going back to Jimmy Carter's gubernatorial campaigns. And when Governor Carter took over in 1971, that really became kind of her bailiwick. So that was really her specialty. And then when she became First Lady, it was essentially the same thing. She took that up. She helped to get the Mental Health Systems Act passed in 1980. In October 1980. Some of that was later repealed, the Reagan administration, but some of it, like the Patients' Bill of Rights, still stands. And her other thing was she took on a domestic issue and a foreign issue. And the other thing was when Jimmy Carter ran in '76, he wanted to kind of revolutionize foreign policy. He said that instead of focusing so much on East-West relations, we should focus on North-South relations, specifically human rights and human rights issues, and they would no longer be turned a blind eye in Latin America and South America. So she was essentially the face card, if you will, of the administration, and she basically barnstormed, went on a 13-day trip, and sent the president essentially that message. And then in 1980, when Jimmy Carter was running for re-election and he was kind of cooped out the White House during the Iran hostage crisis, again, she's the face card of the administration, campaigning all over the country because he in part could not do that because of all the pressures of the White House and during that crisis.
Yeah, she talked about how isolating it could be for the president of the United States, and she was boots on the ground, his biggest surrogate, the steel magnolia. Thank you so much, Rich, for being with us. Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.